Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. This is Vikram and that is the Hyundai Venue IMT. This is the key of the car. As you can see, it looks quite bold from the front aspect because of that massive grille with the plus sort of finishing, rather plus sort of design on it. And we have a massive Hyundai logo. Coming to the headlamps, we have projector headlamps, LED DRLs, cornering lamp is a halogen. And the turn indicator which is placed above the headlamp is also a halogen unit, and the fog lamp which is placed over here is a projector. As you can see, it has similarities with the all new Creta in certain aspects. Now coming to the side, these red colored elements make it look even more sportier. These are aftermarket I guess, but for higher trims and the sports trim these are standard. And coming to the tires, these diamond cut alloys look beautiful, and the tire size happens to be 215/60 R16. These are 16 inches, and the suspension could be seen from here, but the alloy design is very nice. And we have IMT badging over here which says intelligent manual transmission, and the turn indicator is placed over the ORVMs. And this chrome finishing on the door handle is also not standard across all variants. It's an aftermarket unit, but for sports trim these are standard. This is not a long car as such, it's sub 4 meter SUV, rather compact SUV. And now coming to the rear tire, the tire size is same 215/60 R16, but it doesn't get discs. We have drum brakes in the rear. And now coming to the rear, these tail lamps are halogens, but the design is very nice. You can see SX written over here, which is the variant, and Venue written on this, and turbo badging over here. And this chrome strip running in the edge of the tailgate makes it look very nice. And now coming to the boot, boot could be opened by press of a button which is placed over here. And it's a decent sized boot for compact SUV standards, but the boot carrying capacity couldn't be increased by 60/40 split. They should have offered 60/40 split. If you want to increase the boot carrying capacity, the backrest should be flipped completely. And we have a spoiler over here, and this shark fin antenna looks very nice. And the rear end of the car is very nice. Here we have a reverse light, and this is the rear parking camera of the car, and these are the rear parking sensors. Actually they made a bit of a cost cutting over here. They should have offered 4 parking sensors in the corners as well, but they're not there. And now let's get into the car, into the rear seat. There's nothing complicated over here, and the design is quite simple and basic. And the rear bench is not that spacious. It misses out on a center armrest, which is quite disappointing, but for 2 people it's a good place to be in. It couldn't literally accommodate 3 passengers because of the width of the cabin, which is not much as such. And here you can see twin AC vents and a 12-volt charging socket over here. And the seat back is not scooped out to increase the knee room, but it's okay for decent height passengers. But all passengers might face issues with the knee room and leg room. But headroom is very nice. It's pretty good because it's a tall car, and we have 2 proper seat belts in the rear, by which Hyundai is trying to say that this rear seat is strictly for 2 people, rather 2 adults. And this button which you can see over here is to child lock the rear door. Now let's get into the driving seat of the car. And this chrome sort of thing present on the door handle is aftermarket, and it doesn't have request sensors. As you can see, the door design is quite plain and basic, and the buttons are conventional. These are for the power windows, this is to child lock the power window, and these are for the ORVMs, and this is the button to lock and unlock the car. Here we have the headlight leveler, and this button is to increase and decrease the illumination of the headlight. The most interesting thing about this car is it doesn't have a clutch pedal, but it's a manual. That is intelligent manual transmission, which I'll talk about while driving. As you can see, it has manual adjustment for seat, and the door pocket is decent size. It can hold a 1 liter bottle. And here you can see the steering wheel has buttons for cruise control on the right, and these buttons on the left side are for this infotainment system. Now coming to this infotainment system, it's an 8-inch touchscreen unit which is quite slick to use, but it's not that legible in bright sunlight as such. Apart from that, it has got a lot of features like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and these buttons which you can see over here is for the infotainment system. And this is a single zone automatic climate control AC, which works very good because it's not that big cabin, so the AC does a good job. And glove box is not that big, or as such they should have offered a bigger one. And below this we have a 12-volt charging socket and twin USB ports. And this is the gear lever. It's a proper gear lever which is similar to what we have on the manual. And here we have storage spaces, twin cup holders, manual handbrake, and under this center armrest we have storage. So in terms of storage, it's a practical car as such. And now coming to the instrument cluster, it's got an analog dual pod instrument cluster with an MID in the center, and this MID has a lot of information like gear position indicator, temperature, and odometers, trip meters and all. And now coming to the IRVM, this IRVM doesn't have auto dimming function, and this is the button for this sunroof, which is not as big as the Creta's panoramic sunroof. In order to open it further, you need to press the button again. Let me quickly close it. So guys, this is about the interior of the Hyundai Venue. Let's quickly get driving. So guys, I'm driving the Hyundai Venue IMT, which is nothing but intelligent manual transmission, which is nothing but clutchless manual. So if there's no clutch, in order to get into first, we have to press the brake pedal and then get into first, and all you have to do is release the clutch pedal, rather brake pedal, and it crawls at 5 km/h. During start or while launching the car, it's very similar to the automatic, pressing the brake and getting into first. And even while driving, in order to upshift or downshift, you don't have to press the brake, or you don't have to release the accelerator or something of that sort. All you need to do is just shift the gear, which is very convenient and very nice. As you can see, the steering is very light. As we all know, what we have on all Hyundai cars, the steering is very light, but it doesn't weigh up properly even during higher speeds, and it doesn't offer good feel and feedback. They should have made the steering wheel with slightly more feel and feedback. And coming to the engine, this car runs on a 1-liter turbo GDI motor. GDI in the sense gasoline direct injection. It's a 3-cylinder unit, but that 3-cylinderness couldn't be felt unless and until you start pushing it hard and fast. That 3-cylinderness won't be felt whatsoever. But once you touch 5000 RPM or so, vibrations start, and that 3-cylinderness could be felt slightly. And apart from that, this engine is very nice. And this 1-liter engine produces 120 horsepower at 6000 RPM and 170 Newton meters of torque between 1700 to 4000 RPM. That means the mid-range is strong. Strong in the sense it's not that punchy as such, but the power delivery is linear. And the ride is on the stiffer side, unlike all Hyundai cars. With the stiffness in the suspension, high-speed stability is very nice. And the car is quite agile and, you know, confidence inspiring at corners. But this steering wheel is not, due to the lack of feedback. They should have made it with slightly better feedback. And my favorite part is this transmission. It's quite convenient to drive due to lack of clutch, and it's fun because of this manual transmission. And as you can see, there's slight amount of lag lower down, but once you get past 2000 RPM, the performance is very nice. In spite of 3-cylinder engine, it's quite refined and smooth. But once you get past 5000 rpm, the 3-cylinderness could be felt because vibrations start. And coming to the fuel economy, this car returns around 13 to 14 kilometers in the city and somewhere around 15-16 on highways. But in the end, it's a very good car to drive because it's quite easy because of lack of clutch and very fun because of this manual transmission. That is what IMT. This car comes at a premium of 20,000 compared to the manual. For 20,000, all you get is ease of driving with fun. So guys, this is my vlog on the Hyundai Venue IMT. Give it a thumbs up if you like it and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.